Let's get right into it. Number 5. The Darkness Amplifier. Your brain doesn't just tolerate darkness, it panics in it. When the lights go out, your mind doesn't switch off. It turns up. Everything gets louder. Creaks in the floor become footsteps. The wind becomes whispers. That slightly open closet door? Clearly the entrance to another dimension. Why does this happen? Because your brain is wired to treat darkness like a warning siren. No visual input means your survival instincts get promoted to management. The amygdala, your fear processing region, kicks into overdrive, scanning for danger that probably isn't there. It's like hiring a paranoid security guard who insists the shadows are acting suspicious. Evolution is to blame here. Back when our ancestors were sleeping in caves and trees, darkness meant predators. Things with teeth. Things that didn't knock. So our brains developed a rule. No light. Stay alert or get eaten. Even now, in your perfectly safe 21st century home, that ancient wiring hasn't updated. The lights go off, and your brain goes, "All right, gang, DEFCON 1, there's definitely a monster under the bed." And it's not just fear. Your senses get scrambled. Your hearing becomes hypersensitive. Your sense of space gets distorted. That harmless jacket hanging on a chair becomes a lurking figure. Because with no visuals to confirm it's a jacket, your brain just says, "Guess it's a demon now." The less you can see, the more your mind fills in the blanks. And your mind loves filling those blanks with nightmare fuel. So, next time you're tiptoeing through your house in the dark and suddenly break into a sprint for no reason, that's your primal brain going, "Run now, think later." Number 4. Mirror madness. You've done it. Late at night, bathroom light off, just brushing your teeth. You glance in the mirror, and suddenly, your reflection shifts. It twitches when you don't. The eyes look hollow. You feel like you're not alone anymore. Welcome to the strange face illusion, where your brain decides that mirrors are portals to your personal horror show. Here's what's actually happening. When you stare into a mirror in low lighting, especially for more than a minute, your brain starts to lose the plot. With minimal visual input, your facial recognition system glitches. It can't process the details right, so it starts making stuff up. And your brain? It doesn't make friendly stuff up. No puppies, no butterflies. It goes full Silent Hill. People report seeing distorted faces, hollow eyes, animal snouts, or even their reflection morphing into someone else entirely. Some say they see people behind them who aren't really there. Others see their reflection smiling back even though they aren't. What's wild is that this is a documented psychological effect. It doesn't mean you're hallucinating in a clinical sense. It just means your brain doesn't like a lack of data. So it panics and pulls from your internal archives, mostly fear-based ones. The effect gets worse if you're already tired, anxious, or stressed. Your brain's already walking a tightrope. Add darkness and a reflective surface, and it practically invites a demon in for tea. There are even old folklore stories that warned against looking into mirrors at night. Turns out, they were onto something, just not in the supernatural way. Mirrors at night don't show ghosts. They show you, distorted by your brain's desperate need to see anything. So yeah, want to spook yourself for free? Just stare into a mirror in the dark and wait. Your brain will handle the horror effects. Number 3. The shadow people. Glitch. You're half asleep, lying in bed. The room is dark and still until you see it. A tall black figure in the corner. No face, no movement. Just standing there, watching. Welcome to the world of shadow people, aka your brain's creepiest special effects department. These figures are commonly experienced during sleep paralysis. That fun little brain hiccup where your mind wakes up, but your body stays frozen. You're fully aware, but you can't move, speak, or scream. Oh, and your brain starts hallucinating, because why not add a horror DLC to your sleep cycle? In the middle of this paralysis, people often report seeing humanoid shapes lurking in the room. Some say they sit on your chest. Others whisper. Some just stand there, being terrifying and mysterious like they're waiting for a Netflix special. The science? Your brain's temporoparietal junction, the area that helps you understand your own body's position in space, goes haywire, so you feel like there's another presence nearby. Since your brain can't process what's happening, it goes, let's slap a shadow figure on that sensation and call it a night. These hallucinations are so common, they've existed across cultures for centuries. Ancient folklore described them as demons, night spirits, or evil witches. But really, it's just your overworked brain trying to make sense of a terrifying glitch in your sleep software. Even more fun, this doesn't only happen during sleep paralysis. Sensory deprivation, extreme fatigue, or just chilling alone in total darkness for too long can also trigger these spectral hallucinations. So, next time you spot something tall and shadowy in the corner of your room, it might not be a ghost. It might just be you, seeing the dark version of yourself your brain invented because it got bored and scared. Either way, probably don't make eye contact. Number 2, the time warp trap. Spend enough time in the dark, and your brain forgets what a clock even is. Minutes stretch into hours. Hours collapse into blinks. You have no idea if it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. And honestly, neither does your brain. This is because your internal timekeeper, the circadian rhythm, runs on light. Sunlight in the morning says, wake up. Darkness at night says, shut it down. But take light out of the equation, and your brain starts freestyling. Badly. In total darkness, people's sense of time can get completely wrecked. There's a study where a guy volunteered to live in a cave for several months with no clocks, no windows, no nothing. After a while, his body started running on a 48-hour cycle. He'd stay awake for 30 hours, sleep for 18, and think he'd only had a regular day. Your brain wants anchors, routines, light patterns, temperature cues. Take those away, and it starts guessing. And spoiler, it's a terrible guesser. This is why solitary confinement or sensory deprivation chambers can make people lose their minds. Without light, you lose the ability to measure your existence. Time doesn't just feel weird, it stops feeling real. Your memories blur. You question what just happened. You wonder if you're dreaming. It's not just psychological. Your body chemistry also goes haywire. Hormones like melatonin and cortisol start firing at the wrong times. Sleep becomes unpredictable. Mood swings kick in. Hunger doesn't show up when it's supposed to. And all of this starts because the lights went out. So the next time you accidentally binge an entire season of something in a dark room and feel like you lost a decade, you kind of did. Just not physically. Mentally, your brain slipped through a time portal made of shadows and poor impulse control. Number 1. The personality flip. You ever notice how you're not quite the same person at night? Like you're a little more emotional, a little more impulsive, and a whole lot more likely to make weird decisions? That's not just mood swings. That's darkness flipping your brain's switch. See, at night, especially when it's dark and quiet, your prefrontal cortex, aka your inner voice of reason, starts to chill out. Meanwhile, your limbic system, the primal emotional core of your brain, decides it's time to throw a party. One that involves texting your ex, overthinking every conversation you've ever had, and wondering if that pain in your side is terminal. This emotional shift is so real, it has a name: nocturnal cognitive decline. It's why your judgment dips after sunset, why people binge eat, overshare, or spiral into existential dread at 1 a.m. Darkness also affects inhibition. When it's pitch black, people feel less watched, less judged, and that feeling gives your inner gremlin permission to do whatever it wants. Ever wonder why confessions, breakdowns, and dramatic life decisions happen at night? Yeah, that's the gremlin. And let's not ignore sleep. The less sleep you get, the worse your mental filters get. Combine low light with low rest, and you're basically operating with Windows 95 level processing power. Your thoughts feel heavier. Your emotions feel louder. Things you'd laugh off during the day suddenly feel personal. That one awkward thing you said at a party in 2014? Time to relive it in 4K. Darkness doesn't just dim the world around you, it changes the world inside you. So, if you've ever felt like you become a whole different person after the sun goes down, you're not wrong. You're just riding shotgun while your emotionally unstable brain takes the wheel. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.